Hey, what's up everybody? Josh here for R-Rated Show. What's going on? Just wanted to talk to you today about a certain TV show that dropped recently. That's right, I'm talking about Batwoman. And yes, I'm white. Yes, I'm male. And old is debatable. But I just wanted to give my thoughts on Batwoman. I took the time to watch the first episode. And I did watch all the trailers. And of course, yes, they were very cringy. Why? Well, because the messages that it's sending, obviously, which are very progressive left messages of, about gay lesbianism and about feminism, were really ham-fisted in the trailers. So I tend to like movies that sometimes, do have messages and maybe have a social commentary. Or maybe even want to break the mold a little bit. That's great, but, do it with some finesse. Do it with some thought behind it. Don't just punch me right in the face with it. Don't make it so obvious. And that's my main complaint about this incarnation of Batgirl, aka Batwoman. I just kind of feel like, well, here's the thing. I watched the trailers, had no interest in it. And full disclosure, I don't like any of those superhero TV shows with that CW sort of vibe. I don't like Arrow. I don't like Flash. I've tried them, and they just don't cater to my personal interests. They're just always seemed really kind of flimsy and dumbed down to me. Now, I understand a lot of people like shows like Arrow and Flash, and that's great. More power to you. It just personally doesn't appeal to me, even though some films in the superhero genre really do appeal to me, and I actually am a pretty big Batman fan. I've always been more like Team Batman than, say, Superman or something. I always liked the fact that, he was like an ordinary guy in a suit and, having a preset, guidelines and morals to follow in his adventures and stuff. So I always thought that was really interesting. And I wanted to see how this was going to translate into the Batgirl character, Batwoman. Batwoman being gay, I really have no problem with that at all. I mean, I think it could work with the character. The problem is that they just beat you over the head with it. And it's not subtle, it's not thought out, it's not done in any creative way. It's basically just presented for you, like, really obviously. It's just all spelled out for you. You don't have to, put any pieces together at all. I mean, they say Ruby Rose, first of all, I want to talk about her. Everything I've seen her do, really, she's definitely got a type character that she does in TV shows. I really liked her in Orange is the New Black. She fit into that element really well, and so it made a lot of sense. And she was a perfect character for that, tatted up and everything, and being the type of character that she is. And then, so was it a Mission Impossible movie? She did a really great job in that as well. She could play a good villain too. I was actually really interested when she was casted for this TV show. It's so ridiculous. The show is so silly. This isn't necessarily her fault, but she really looks ridiculous in that costume. The costume is awful. It's like some retrofitted version of Batman's. The Batman suit itself that's revealed in the first episode is really bad. It doesn't come close to the Nolan Christian Bale costume. It's just really poor, honestly. The torso, really, really lazy. Looks bad. So apparently her costume is a retrofitted version of that. She starts becoming a public figure. They think it's Batman and she doesn't like that. So she has it changed to have the red hair. And it just looks really dumb. I mean, it's something that works really good on the comic book page because it's colorful and it's feminine. And it just shows that, Batgirl, Batwoman can be a badass and still be somewhat feminine with that bright red hair and the red lipstick and stuff. And it just looks really cheap and dumb for TV, and it's just really distracting. I feel kind of bad for Ruby Rose. I mean, the writing is ham-fisted. The visuals are passable except for the main costume. The villain is really bad. The villain's name is Alice. It's a play on Alice in Wonderland, obviously. Also very ham-fisted and ridiculous and silly. Now look, I just want to say this and make it very clear that I really think that you can make these themes, if you want to go woke with Batwoman, do it in a way that has style, do it in a way that honors and respects your audience, and You know, maybe it wasn't made for me, but you should be aspiring to make a show that can appeal to everybody, at least in some basic sense. You know, it's a really cheap excuse to say, well, it's not made for white old men. Just because I'm not a teenage girl, lesbian teenage girl, doesn't mean I shouldn't be interested in watching Batwoman on TV, you know? I mean, it should be a good character with good writing that everybody can like. And I think teenage girls, no matter what their orientation is, or boys or whatever, you know, they can tell the difference between good and bad as well. I mean, are you just aiming for the lowest common denominator here? You know, are you saying these people are too dumb to know the difference between a good show and a bad show? I don't think it's terrible. I just think it's really lazy and flimsy. So, I mean, I guess you could say it is terrible, but I mean, I've definitely seen shows that's worse. Could barely finish the first episode, and it's just so dumbed down and obvious, and I don't like content that's like that. And I really only watched a few reviews going into this because I didn't really want to really be swayed on my personal opinion. I knew I probably wasn't going to like it judging by the trailers, which were really cringy. You know, if you're going to deliver a message in media, you know, through pop culture, do it in a way that sells it with authenticity and intelligence. Don't come off as such a fucking bully all the time, you know? I think you could probably say anything you want in a show if you just did it well. And what baffles me is that, you know, a lot of Hollywood are making these TV shows and movies and product for us to consume that are really directly condescending to the consumer. It's annoying. Stop doing it. Just make good content. Spend time creating something that people can enjoy. Maybe your target audience is a teenage lesbian group, but maybe we can target it for them, but we should really make an overall good product and surprise people. And it just seems like they just go for the low-hanging fruit every time. So I'll wrap this up. I'll say, yeah, it's a no-go for me. Yeah, guys, until next time, stay awesome, stay R-rated. Cheers. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We've got a lot of great content coming for you this year. We've got reviews for movies, comics, and more. And of course, we will always have fan commentaries for the movies you love. Lots of talk about horror and just mainstream pop culture in general. And probably some Star Wars stuff leading up to Rise of Skywalker. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. And yeah, become a fan of the channel. Let's hear what you want to see. Leave a comment below and just let me know what you think. Alright guys, talk to you later.